Hello there, everyone. My name is Crazy Caleb, and welcome to Atlantis. So this is the way the module looks. It's got a blue background that essentially represents that you're under the sea, and it's got a trident that's going to be pointing at one of the arrows, at one of the buttons rather, around here. There's going to be 8 different buttons, as you can see, and what we're going to be trying to do is we're going to be trying to determine which button we're going to be pressing. Only one will be pressed in this sequence. Now, one thing that's important about this module that I should mention beforehand is with this tutorial, there is 2 different types of Atlantis. Number one is the normal module that we're looking at right now, and the other is Deeper Atlantis. Now, for those who are curious, I will not be covering Deeper Atlantis in this tutorial video. I don't know if I'm actually going to be covering Deeper Atlantis at all. I don't know any good strats for it yet, just based off of the way that it's given. And quite frankly, I'm not really the biggest fan of it. I'm going to be honest with you. I will probably cover it at some point, but for now, I will not be covering this in this tutorial. This is only for the base game of Atlantis. Deeper Atlantis is for those, for the ones who want a bigger challenge. Hold any button and let it guide you deeper. In which case, the module will flip over, and as you can see, there's like some buttons back there. That represents Deeper Atlantis. There's the flip side to this. So, just a fair warning, this is not the Deeper Atlantis tutorial video. If I do happen to make one, it will be a completely separate video. So, let's get into this module, and let's see exactly what we need to do with this. So, the module presents eight buttons arranged in a circle and a trident in the middle. Words made up of Greek letters are shown on these buttons. Note that the word does not matter itself, which we'll get into what that is in just a moment. And all words could be Caesar shifted forward x times, where x is minimized, such that y, the number of times that alpha appears across all words, is maximized. So essentially, what's going to be happening here is that we're going to be trying to find the letter with the greatest occurrence. And what we're going to try and do is we're going to try and Caesar shift that forward so that it equals alpha. We're not trying to find however many alphas there are present on the actual module right now. We're simply trying to find the Greek letter of these 24 letters that is the greatest occurrence and can be Caesar shifted the least amount of times in case of ties. And then that's what we're going to be paying attention to. We're going to be Caesar shifting it to alpha. So this is essentially what we're going to be doing here. And we're going to try and find the character that occurs the most in this case. So let's do that. Now, generally, I like to start with Omicron. Omicron is one of the ones that usually happens to appear quite a lot, just from what I've seen. Same thing with Sigma. Sigma is also a good one to start with. These two generally appear a lot. Though bear in mind, there obviously can be a lot of different letters that can appear. So just bear that in mind. So let's start looking for Omicrons, or in this case, simply O's. So we've got 1, 2, 3 alone in that word. 4, nothing in that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and that'll be 9 Omicrons. So now what we want to do, 9 Omicrons, we want to find anything that could potentially beat this. We want to find the greatest occurrence of a specific letter. So Omicron is doing pretty well so far. Let's take a look at Sigma. Sigma is the one that occurs a bit here. We've got 1 from that one, 2. No, this one's not even occurring at all. Okay, so let's not worry about this. Another one I've seen another one I saw on this module that was quite common was the epsilon. Let's take a look at epsilons here. None, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That looks like that's it, and I think that pretty much clears up. And I guess for safe measure, let's just count all the alphas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's in the clear. Okay, yep. So Omicron is going to be our greatest word that appears. So now, in this case, this is going to maximize the amount of times that alpha appears across all words. Now what we need to do is we need to find how many times the Caesar shifting forward we need to do to get to alpha. So we're at 15 right now, and we need to shift forward, or in this case, down to 1. So in this case, what does it take to get us to 1 from our current position? Let's pop out our handy-dandy calculator. So we need to, or rather, we could just count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it takes us 10 times the Caesar shift forward to alpha, in which case that gives us the most amount of alphas. So x is going to be equal to 10, and Yankee is going to be equal to 9, because that's the amount of occurrences of which alpha would occur if Caesar shifted forward 10 times. Hope that makes sense. So we're trying to find the most alphas, which in this case can apply to any Caesar shifts, and in this case we've found the most alphas. So now, in order to solve this module, find the positive difference between x and y, and count that many times around the buttons clockwise, starting from the button pointing by the trident. So in this case, the difference between 10 and 9 that is positive is going to be represented by a 1. In this case, we're only going to move from the trident. In this case, it's pointing. The 3 points are pointing at the bottom right one. We're going to move 1 space clockwise from this position, and we're going to simply press this button that we land on. And just like that is a solved module. That's all you simply need to do with that. So, let's take a look at one more example. And as you can see, this module is quite simple to actually do. Like I said, the words are irrelevant. The letters are the only ones we're going to focus on, and we're trying to find the greatest occurrence of one singular letter. Or there is the possibility of there being duplicates. So, say, for example, you had 7 omicron and 7 sigma. If you happen to take a look at this example, what we're going to try and do is we're trying to minimize x as much as possible. So in this case, we want to take the one that is closest to alpha. In this case, that would be sigma. So we would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that would give us a total of 7 of Caesar shifting 7 forward. So that's what we're going to be doing with this mod. Hope that makes sense. Hope you understand that. And let's get into one more example here. Yeah, I've found for the couple examples that I've done, omicron is a very common occurrence, but bear in mind, there obviously can be a series of different other ones. And actually, one of the things that I want to look at here is I want to see if we can take a look at omega. Omega appears to be appearing often, which in this case is represented by the whiskey here. So let's take a look. So we've got omega 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I thought it would be a bit more. Okay, let's see. Let's take a look at sigma. Sigma. Yeah, I'll mark down 5 omega. Let's take a look at sigma here. So we've got 1, 2, 3. Wow, okay. That's only 3. Now, actually, I'm curious because I've seen quite a few of these. Let's count alpha itself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so I've seen 7 alpha. 7 alpha takes the lead here. Alpha takes the lead. Let's count some epsilons, maybe. The epsilon would be the last one that I want to look at. Otherwise, I'm pretty confident that that's actually the most one here. Maybe let's count the row instead. Let's count like this sort of popple. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, no, it's not gonna be close. Okay. And I guess the last one I do is iota. It's I without the dot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, no. Okay. So that's going to be 7 alpha. Now, in the case of this, it should just be 0 times, I believe, because you don't have to shift anything at all. Yeah, because if it would be, it's modulo 24. So in this case, 0 is going to be our x, and Yankee, in this case, is going to be our 7. 0 and 7. In this case, we have a positive difference between x and y of 7. We're going to count 7 clockwise from the trident, or in this case, since we realize that we have 8 buttons, we can simply count 1 counterclockwise. And just like that is a solved module. As always, thank you guys for watching. Remember to stay crazy, stay cool, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.